Hey guys, John here with Pro X Paintball. Today I'm back with another tech video. Today we just got in the CS2 Mech frame. Pretty excited to show you how to install that. This thing is sick. Check it out. Let's get started. All right, let's get started. Break down what you get with your CS2 Mech frame. So you got your nice box here. Come sealed up. Open it up. Planet Eclipse is always really good about this. They've got a spare parts kit. So if you do misplace some of the items when you're putting it in, or as you switch it back and forth over time, you've got extra O-rings, extra screws, and an extra gasket in there. And I'll go over that in a little bit later. So this is a pretty cool idea. I feel like they're always thinking about something. This is an extra back grip. So for the CS2, you have the buttons on the back here and the frame or in the screen. This is going to replace that. So that way you don't have any of the holes there. It's kind of perfect. And of course you have the mechanical frame. Pretty straightforward, comes with a full grip. I heard today that they are going to start selling the ASA, the pops and everything like that, so you can replace it. So that way you can have your mechanical frame ready to go and then your electronic frame. So you can switch them back and forth without having to take out the piston and everything like that. I didn't hear that from Planet Eclipse, so if I'm wrong, forgive me, but that would be kind of cool. That way you can switch back and forth pretty easily. All right, get this out of the way. So just looking at it, first impressions, I mean, they always do such a great job on this. This is going to be sick to be able to shoot. There's a ton of CS2 owners out there that will be able to take their CS2, go play a mechanical event for less. Basically, you buy this and you can go play a mechanical event for less than buying a mechanical gun. Definitely less than buying a high-end mechanical gun. So this will be awesome. You got your spring in there, little ball bearing, like a ball bearing on the back of the, not a ball bearing, a roller on the back of the trigger here. So pretty smooth. Trigger pull so far. It does have a mechanical safety, which is nice. And of course, it's got the little valve inside of there. And so you can service all this. I'm not going to go into detail on that. You shouldn't really have to touch this, but you'll see there's on the left side, if you're holding the grip right here, on the left side, there's a small tip of that, and then it gets larger on this side. You're going to press from the left side to the right. Pull that out. It's got a little gasket on there, and then the valve is going to come out. So I don't know why you would ever have to do this to service this. But there is a gasket in here. Like I was saying, there's extra in your parts kit. And this is all serviceable. So you can replace all the O-rings in here. If you have any problems, any leaks, it's all rebuildable. But you really should never have to take this out. And that just sits in place. It doesn't look like there's much grease, if anything at all, on there. So it's just the pressure that holds it into place once it's on the gun. So hold that down. Put that there. So you notice you have the little, that hole in the front, small hole in the back. And you have a gasket. This gasket's going like that, straight up and down. So if you're curious what to say, and this is going to be the bottom. There you go. Just lay it back down. And then I'm going to take from the right side to the left side. I'm going to slide this little pin in place to lock it back in place. And you're good to go. So this is kind of cool. I just noticed this. This looks like it's your spring tension on your trigger. So easily accessible in the back here. Let's see, I think it's a 1/8 Allen key. Nope. Yep, 1/8 Allen key here. And you can actually adjust the spring tension if you want that harder or easier trigger pull. That's kind of cool. So first time looking at it, of course, it's got all the adjustments for the trigger. Pull all this apart from the top. It does have your fake battery compartment here. So that's kind of cool. So that'll just be a slide on from the other one. So let's go and install it. Quick reaction, basically. I mean, this thing's gonna be sick. We're gonna go shoot it after we install it. That way you guys can check it out. We'll have that in another one of our videos. So make sure you guys subscribe so that way you get alert when we release that video. Good to go. Okay, so we've got the back grip, the spare parts. I don't think we need to install it. And then you are missing a gasket here, but I'll show you that here in a second in there. So go and grab your gun. Make sure of course, no air in there. Take the barrel off. Go and pull the bolt out. Lay that off to the side. And you want to pull the front grip off. Lay that off to the side. And then this back grip. So you're going to slide these two pieces forward. Go back to this real quick. This is pretty basic, but a lot of people have a hard time. You just want to pull it. So I typically will grab it with my hands here and pull it close to my chest and pull. Just don't hit anything when your hand goes flying, but you just want to tug on it. You're not going to, don't pry it down or anything like that. You're not going to hurt it. So And as far as this goes, the back grip here, slide those forward. Good to go there. And then pry up from the back and everything will pull out. Good to go. Lay that off to the side. Same for the front grip. You want to keep this front grip, obviously. Go pull that off. Lay it off to the side too. So you're good to go. So that's what you're left right here now. And you're gonna need this battery cap here. So keep that as well. Lay the batteries off. Good to go. So straightforward on that one. Okay, I don't think we have to touch anything else. So you're gonna grab your 1/8 Allen key. You're gonna have your front grip screw, your rear grip screw. We're gonna take this off. So if you haven't played mechanical before, it is pretty sick. A lot of these tournaments have been popping up over the last couple years. The ICC, the ICPL, and a lot of local fields are kind of doing more mechanical events. So to have a mech frame, to have the Planet Eclipse, the CS2 Mech frame actually available for you, finally, this is pretty exciting. That way you can go play with that. You don't have to go buy an E-Mech or anything like that to go play with. So I've taken the back screw and the front screw off. Go ahead and it just lifts straight up. Not straight up, but pivots up and then off like that. So your frame, if you've never cleaned it before, it's got a little hook there on the front. Pivots right there. Excuse me. Okay, so there you go. You will need this here in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this frame on. I'm going to see what it looks like on here. So same thing, it's got the little notch there. But before you do this, so remember what I said, there's a gasket. So I recommend to use the gasket from your frame and put it on the mechanical frame instead of having one gasket on both, because if you throw this in a box with this gasket just sitting on here, this gasket is probably going to fall out. So if you lose that a couple times, you're going to be without it. You're not going to be able to switch your gun back. You know, the night before you go play, you're going to want to switch your gun back, whatever the case is. I would recommend take this standard gasket here and switch it back and forth between the frames and leave your bag as spare parts. Leave that extra. If these were like permanently mounted in place, like screwed in place, yeah, you can go ahead and mount them on both guns. But I would recommend to go ahead and take this stock one off, take a small Allen key, just kind of move it from the inside out and pull it off there. That way, none of this is going to fall apart. But I definitely would recommend to put this in a small bag if you have something. You don't want anything to damage the board, the screen. You don't want to get wet, anything like that. So, okay. So I took the gasket off there. And there, it doesn't look like it's really a wrong way, right way. Let's see here to go in. Good to go. It does look like it has a small lip. You're not going to be able to see it probably. But this bottom part is flat. And then has like a little ridge that goes around the top. The ridge wants to go to the top of the gun. So lay that down like that. Good to go. And again, I'm going to go from the front and pivot it in there. And again, just set it in place. I like to do this back screw first because it guarantees you kind of got everything lined up. And never tighten it up all the way. You want to tighten up just enough to hold everything in place. That way, like let's say you're pinching a wire or pinching something. Whatever the case is, you don't want to crimp all the way down it before you can actually take a second to look at it, make sure everything's in place. So that's kind of loose, moves around a little bit, and then go ahead and put your front screw in. And then now we can go ahead and tighten these up most of the way. And I'm going to do a little at a time. Good to go there. Okay. And I usually recommend when you really want to firm it up, use the short side of your Allen key, not the ball side. That way it doesn't break off or round off any of your screws. So it's just hand tight. I'm not going crazy on that. Good to go. Just like that. I'm going to put my bolt back in. Good to go there. And then, like I said earlier, you're going to need this front battery compartment. So I was joking earlier with the guys when I looked at this, that you want some lunch money? Throw some lunch money in there. Slide that in there. Let's see if it'll close up. Oh, there you go. You got 20 bucks. We got 20 bucks for lunch at the paintball field. You know, to carry it on your wallet. I don't know how you're going to get it out of here when you want to grab lunch, but you can worry about that later. That's future you problem. So hopefully I remember to take this out. Good to go. Okay, so you got the little battery compartment from the electronic version frame. Take that off. Good to go there. And that's pretty straightforward. You got a couple more steps. So slide that on. Clip that in place. You know, this is sick though. I mean, it's just, I never thought I'd see the day where I see a $1,500 mechanical gun. Good to go. Okay, so the next thing, you will have to take the regulator internals out of here, and you're going to do that by removing the two bottom screws here, the pops is going to slide off, and then there's going to be a spring and a piston. So you're going to make sure you also have needle nose in order to get that piston out of place. Okay, so this should be your 5/32 Allen key here. Loosen those up. So if you guys have already shot this, I don't know when you're watching this video, if you've already shot your buddy's CS2 Mech frame, comment below. Let us know what you think about it. The M170 is probably my favorite mechanical gun. The Planet Eclipse M170, the mechanical frame, or yeah, mechanical version of the 170R. I mean, they've done such a good job on these guns. It's so much fun to play with. So like I said, if you shot one before, comment, let us know. Let us know what you think. Okay, so pull out 2 long screws here, 5/32 Allen key. Just gonna slide out the bottom, just like that. The spring is going to fall out. You don't have to touch any of this stuff here. There is a small gasket right there. The spring sits right here. This is the hardest part. You got to get this piston out from inside of here, and you're going to be real careful. You don't want to scratch the piston at all. So I have some real thin needle nose. I'm going to be very, very gentle as I grab it. Kind of wobble back and forth, and then you don't want to grab it too hard. You don't want to mess up the end of it. I'm trying not even to grab the end of it because you want to make sure you don't damage the piston where it seals and everything. So, okay, so that's all you got out there. So that frame is set aside. Again, you want to be careful. All this electronics, your eyes, everything in here, I would put this back in the box before you do anything else once you're done with this. Put it back in here, maybe put it in a bag of some sort, but you don't want anything in there to get damaged. I'll keep it all just like this. I think we can keep this even. This is the stock one. You keep that in here, put that off to the side, just like that. That way everything is completely set aside. When you want to go play with your electronic gun, you can do that as well. And you don't lose anything, you don't scratch anything, everything's set aside. I would recommend do that immediately on that one. Okay, so we have our piston. So the large side of the piston, the round part, is going to go into the gun first, and then the small pin is going to go down. And the way this works is that spring sits on there, and that piston goes right inside this hole. So that's what seals everything, allows your velocity, pressure, your regulator pressure adjustment to go up and down. So make sure that sits just like that is what you're looking at inside your gun. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So it does have lube on there already. If you're worried about it, clean it out, take a small Q-tip, make sure there's no debris left in there, and use your Planet Eclipse grease to lube that. I'm gonna press that back in there, chop the spring, take this, line it up with the end of the pin. So that hole, I'm lining up with a piston, and it's slowly pushing in here. I'm not going to force anything. It's going to see a little resistance. See here. What I would like to do is I meant to do it all as one piece, so it's a little bit easier. There we go. So what I meant to do is do this. There we go. Then you can slide it all in correctly. That'd be the right way of doing it. Okay. You can feel a little click. It's going to go into place. And you have a little spring tension. So there's my left hand, right hand. I'm just going to press it down a little bit. You'll see a little spring tension on it. So what I recommend is I've got the gun pressed against the countertop. I'm going to just kind of press down on it. But again, I'm going to put both of these screws in and just slowly tighten each one. I'm not going to tighten one down all the way because you don't want it to go sideways and bind up or anything like that. So a little at a time. Just like that. So you guys are aware the first batch we got in these sold pretty much immediately. As soon as we posted that we had the small batch in stock, they sold out online. So if, depending on when you're watching this video, we have pre-orders open. Otherwise, we will have these in stock on our website, prohpb.com. Probably just do a search for Mech frame or CS2 frame or CS2 frame kit on our search bar up there and find it. Okay, so I tightened both these down, just firm, went back and forth the whole time. Good to go. Make sure all that works. Adds a little bit more weight back to it. Okay, so we're gonna take our front grips here, slide those in place. They'll kind of click in. So there's a little tab on the back here. Make sure those goes in place on both sides. Good to go. And you do the back frame. This is kind of cool. I wonder if you can put this. If you still want to look at the back here. I don't know what this would even look like, if it's even possible, but let's see. So no, completely different the way it's machined out. So it has the spacing inside of it, or has the button places inside, where this one does not. So it does not look like it'll be able to go in. I was curious. Okay, so mechanical just slaps on. Good to go. And lock them into place. And then you are all set. Man, that feels good. That just the curve. It's kind of weird because there's no buttons on the back of it. So it's instead of having this feel where you feel the buttons on the screen, it's kind of nice. You don't feel any of this right here. So this is pretty sick. Let me air it up real quick. Okay, grabbed our tank and the muffler. Before I start shooting things, move all this stuff out of the way. Put it off to the side. Muffler's on, pops on, off. Screw that in. No leaks. This is awesome. So this trigger is so light. This is ridiculously light. Like, I'm used to the Deadly Wind hair valve for the M170s. This is probably pretty competitive to that. Definitely seems way lighter, in my opinion. I need an M170 to compare it side by side. But that is quite ridiculous. And don't forget, you can adjust this, if you don't like it, it's real sensitive, with a 1/8 Allen key right here on the back of the frame. I can unscrew this to make it even lighter. I don't know how far I can come out on that. And I'm sure you can tweak this even more, but that's just a little bit out of the box. I just did it flush, back to where it's flush. You sound like you can get it going for sure. Now that is awesome. So, okay. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any questions about this, make sure you comment below. If I missed anything, definitely let us know on that one. We love doing our tech videos. Hopefully you guys find use in them. And of course, if you do like our tech videos or our weekly review videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And please take a second to like this video. It really helps other players find our videos. See how fast I can get this thing going. It's pretty good, pretty good. Cool deal. Any questions, make sure you comment below, message us on social media, or of course, subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on all of our videos. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Pick these up, prospb.com. We'll have them back in stock. If right now it shows pre-order, we'll have them back in stock. I don't know if they'll come with different colors, but I'm sure maybe we can work with Arc Anodizing, our local anodizer, to get some different colors for you guys made too. So make sure you hit us up. Any questions? Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.